Welcome, dear soul, to a journey through the timeless wisdom of Rumi. Together, we will wander through a landscape where mysticism dances with hope, and the heart reveals both its wounds and its light. Let us settle into this quiet space, where contradictions meet, and the spirit deepens in gentle understanding. He wrote a scroll named for each one, as if every life unfolds into its own sacred story. Imagine your own soul carrying a tale, quietly etched in a mystic script known only to you. On each scroll, a different path is traced, unique and winding like many rivers. Each journey carves its own channel, inviting awe and respect for the diverse ways we walk the world. The commands that guide each path vary, as varied as the stars shining above us. What holds true for one may not bind another, reminding us of a divine diversity that embraces all. It is wild to consider how these truths can contradict from beginning to end, yet still come together as a whole, a mosaic of life's intertwined paradoxes. We learn to hold space for this, tenderly accepting that opposing forces coexist within us. Some paths call for discipline and hunger, a burning that purifies through challenge, a devotion wrapped in austerity. Yet even in these demanding routes, the heart turns back in repentance, finding hope in the gentle return after wandering. Other walks whisper that such discipline bears no profit, suggesting perhaps a softer way, where generosity shines as the only redemption through the fog. In such giving, the soul finds its salvation. And still, there is a caution, that your hunger and generosity, your deepest longing and grace, can sometimes tether you in blindness, a partnership not only with the beloved, but shadowed by distraction. This cutting line reminds us how easily even sacred acts become entangled, urging fierce honesty. Beyond all this, the truest surrender is trust, an opening of the heart so complete, it feels like falling into grace itself. Life's sweetness and sorrow weave snares alike, illusions that trap and teach us how to untangle. Service becomes a sacred labor beyond mere duty, a bridge linking us to the divine. Without such humble giving, trust may ring hollow or carry blame, echoing the need for deeds that ground faith. Sometimes life's rules come sharply and strictly, not to bind us, but as a mirror revealing our own frailty, inviting a humble gaze into our weaknesses. In recognizing our helplessness, a profound knowing arises, the immense power of the divine close at hand, carrying us through storms with steady strength. To see your weakness fully is to embrace vulnerability courageously, yet to mistake this very frailty for disbelief dims the blessing woven through it. Our strength then is a gift flowing from that sacred source, an awakening that lifts and humbles all at once. There is a call to move beyond these dualities, to soar above conflict and contrast, like flying over a battlefield into open sky. What the eye captures is often no more than an idol, a deception crafted by sight alone. Sometimes we must be brave enough to blow out the candle of familiar vision, stepping fearlessly into the unknown dark where the flickering flame once warmed us and gathered scattered souls. Transcending both vision and imagination, you touch the edges of infinity, where union's fragile light dims at midnight, only to give birth to a closeness deeper than any flame. There is courage here, the courage to kill what feels safe, to risk losing your guide so new horizons may flood your sight with 100,000 fresh glances. Like the flame of the soul that grows beyond its own end, your spirit expands with love's patient madness, calling to you like Layla to Manun in sweet torment. But beware the trap of forsaking the world out of pride or false asceticism, for the world then tightens its grip, an ironic clutch that mocks escape. All that God has given, even what confounds you, is a sacred gift made sweet by divine hands. It invites you to accept with gladness, to open your heart and receive grace. When despair threatens, do not surrender. Hope is the quiet lamp that refuses to die in darkness. Let go of the self that clings to what is comfortable or fears the unknown. For true growth lies beyond the walls of nature's acceptances and rejections. The many paths life offers become easier when the heart aligns with them, each carrying the soul of a people, vibrant and unique. When God makes a way clear, even the hardest steps become possible, a truth whispered across traditions, uniting Jews, Zoroastrians, and all seekers alike. Ease is not laziness, but divine grace flowing gently through heartbeats. The life of the heart sustains the soul, like a river nourishing silent depths. Yet passions and pleasures, like a passing breeze, fade, leaving only ashes and fallow fields in their wake. These remnants bring regret and loss, a soft teacher that invites you to turn inward gently, to choose wisely beyond fleeting delight. The so-called ease may carry a difficult end, a reminder to seek depth beyond surface comfort. Stand as a whole person, not a jest among others. Walk proud and unlost despite the world's twists. All this multiplicity returns to one truth. Beyond divisions, a unity calls you home. Anyone who sees two where there is one walks lost in folly. Countless paths sing the same eternal song. To deny this is madness, yet perhaps that madness opens the door to wisdom. Each saying opposes another, yet within that tension the universe holds balance, where sweetness and bitterness blend in every breath we take. To pass beyond poison and sugar is to rise above pleasure and pain and enter the garden of unity, whose fragrance is delicate and elusive without such transcendence. This vast collection of truths, these many scrolls, form a grand tapestry woven through light and shadow. Even the voice of opposition shapes the story, reminding us how conflict and faith dance together, each coloring the other with fierce, fragile beauty. So rest here for a moment inside this unfolding heart, where contradictions breathe, where surrender and strength meet, where patience spins its wild sweetness, and the soul is invited to soar beyond the known into a deeper, tender mystery. Stay with this feeling for as long as you like, and know that these words will wait, ready to embrace you again whenever you return.